I played Daggerfall for the first time recently. Well, that's a lie. I've played it before, but never got far into the game. Just outside the first cave, and then I would stop. I didn't know where to go, or what to do. Till I decided to figure out the game mechanics. I installed Unity, and found the thing that solidified my addiction to Daggerfall for the next week. Fast travel. When I discovered fast travel, the whole game clicked for me. Daggerfall has really high highs and extremely low lows. Let's start with the things that I liked. The reason I've always wanted to play Daggerfall wasn't the story or the gameplay, it was the music. I have it playing in this video, and the music is the best thing about this game. It really ties the game together with the overall vibe the game gives you, and even how the game looks. It's dark fantasy. Each song in Daggerfall is amazing. Even the sound design, when you enter a cave, you will hear screeching skeletons, growling werewolves, doors opening, chains rattling. It's so eerie when you are exploring a cave. Then when you exit the dark and quiet cave, the music comes back and it hits so hard every time. The next thing I liked is the aesthetic. The aesthetic of Daggerfall is fantastic. The design of the dregs, the werewolves, the vampires, the orcs, the armor, the weapon, some of the Daedric princes. I love the Elvira vibe of Mephala, the Dark Lord look of Boethia, which never really changed, but it's more prominent in Daggerfall. And Hircine. Hircine also never really changed, but Hircine just always looks so cool, even though he's not really one of my favorites. All fantastic, although I don't like some of them. I never liked the kid version of Clavicus Vile or the crab look of Hermea Mora, and I do not like the look of Vermina in Daggerfall. Why does Vermina look like they are going to sell me magic beans? And while we are here, and Daedric Princes, Malakath looks like an orc you'll find in a dungeon. I know that's what he's supposed to look like, but at least make something about him rememberable, like, I don't know, give him a hat or something. He just looks like a normal orc. Anyway, back on track. I love the dark fantasy aesthetic of Daggerfall. I think it's very well done and very distinctive. Like, if I was going to just be shown a screenshot, I would instantly be able to tell that it's Daggerfall. Daggerfall has a very unique art style. I haven't played many games from 1996, but I think I'd be able to point out Daggerfall. It's very distinctive. I also love how most of the NPCs don't like you and aren't willing to help. We aren't a chosen hero by the gods. We are nobody to the average person. They don't know us, and they don't care about us, and that's the whole point. They're not supposed to know us. We are an agent of the Emperor. We have to be undercover. We have to be a random person to everybody. It's very refreshing to see an NPC to tell me to shut the hell up or ask, "What the hell do you want?" But that just might be me. I think it's very refreshing to see an NPC just be a complete dickhead to you. And it's not just certain NPCs, it's most NPCs. The next thing I like about this game will also go into the things that I don't like about this game. It's kind of a double-edged sword here. The questing and dungeon delving. The whole gameplay loop. The first 10 hours of this gameplay loop is extremely fun. You know, you join a guild, either the Fighters Guild or the Mages Guild or many of the other temples. But joining one of these guilds is the bread and butter of this game, until you are able to continue the main quest or even start it. You join a guild and get a quest which will have you get an item or kill a certain enemy in a random dungeon. But you have a limited number of in-game days to do any quest, so you better do it fast or you will miss the quest. Even the main story ones have limited days that you can do it. It can range from 10 days to 400 days, depends on the quest. But I like this because it feels like the world is moving forward, just like life. But I don't, because I don't like feeling pressured to do a quest I don't feel like doing at the moment. But one of these dungeons could take you anywhere from 30 minutes to 2 hours. And this is where it starts to give me burnout of the game. I get burnt out when I'm in the same dungeon for an hour or two, trying to find a certain item or kill a certain enemy. They're just not fun to explore, because once you've been through one, feels like you've been through all of them. It's the same problem you have in Oblivion. The dungeon delving gets very old really fast. Randomly generated mazes, that is very messy. They're not very well done, and I get that it was made in 1996, so you can't be too harsh on it, but still. After playing some amazing games, with amazing exploration, it's hard to enjoy the daggerfall gameplay loop. And to be honest, this whole thing that I don't like about could be user error. I got so burnt out of daggerfall because of this reason. I will go and kill a werewolf, but after the 10th werewolf and the quest still is not completed, you get very frustrated. It took you an hour to get through the dungeon, and now you have to backtrack through the entire dungeon to find nothing. And then a room you've already been in, there's the target. He just spawned in. It gets very frustrating and very boring when a cave feels like the exact same, and it is dreadful to keep going through them. Remember, this is my opinion. If you love Daggerfall and its gameplay loop, more power to you. But for me, I was so bored after maybe the 15 to 20 hour mark. I finished the game, but I didn't feel satisfied. I just felt like I got off work and can't wait to go home. I hated the last few hours of my playtime with this game. I could have indeed just rushed the main story, but I wanted to see what the game had to offer, the late game loot and whatnot. But I only got to level 12. And sometimes you can go to the same dungeon for a different quest. Like in the Fighters Guild, they wanted me to kill a vampire, and then the next quest I had to go to the same dungeon to kill a werewolf. And it's just like, are you fucking kidding me? I just got here. But the thing is I feel like sometimes they just don't spawn until everything is dead. And maybe that is like a mechanic. I don't know. I didn't look it up. I wanted to go to this as blind as possible, because you only get one first playthrough of a game. And I wanted to do it on my own, but I thought that was extremely boring. I got so burnt out. I just wanted to be done with the game. Like, I was so sick of going through these dungeons, and the main quest was getting so boring. Like, the story was getting good, but the gameplay, oh my god, I couldn't have fun. The only thing I do not like about Daggerfall is the gameplay loop, and that's fairly obvious from what I've talked about in this video. I find it extremely boring, not fun after you've done a few quests and dungeons. I enjoyed most of my time in Daggerfall, like I said, but the low of the game outshines the high of the game. I can see why people love this game, and will always love the game. I can see what makes this a good game. The story, the world, the music, the aesthetic. I can see how it's somebody's comfort game. But as somebody who is really interested in, better gameplay, and that's rich coming from an Elder Scrolls fan, I just got bored. I got so burnt out, man. But at the end of the day, this is my opinion, and I appreciate you guys for watching. And I'm sorry for the lack of uploads. Without getting into it, it's been a rough few weeks. But anyways, thank you guys for being patient and supportive. And thank you, channel members. And I will see you in the next video. See ya.